Good morning, guys. I wanted to make a video and talk to you guys about how cooking is such a great way and a fun way to work on language skills with children, young and old. It is something that most everyone enjoys doing, especially younger kids. They love feeling like they are helping out in the kitchen. So we're going to talk about a bunch of things that you can target while cooking with children. And the first one is following directions. So you can keep your directions very simple, such as, can you go get me the flour, or hand me a spoon, those types of things. If your child is beyond basic directions, you can make your directions a little harder by incorporating like before and after type tasks. Get me the milk before you get me the eggs, or pour in the sugar after you pour in the milk. Those types of things would be examples of that. And then you can also make it even harder by doing some spatial directions, where you might say, can you hand me the spoon that is underneath the towel? So following directions is a great skill that you can work on cooking anything. The next skill that is very easy to target when cooking is sequencing. You can talk about what you're going to do first, what you're going to do next, what you're going to do last. You can even review your recipe in advance and talk through the steps and all the things that you're going to do, or you can just do it along the way, or you can do both. Building vocabulary is a great skill that can be worked on during cooking sessions with children. You can use words like stir, mix, whisk, bake, cook, and you're not necessarily asking the child to use those words. If they do, that's fine, but you're not necessarily asking them to use them. You're just using them yourselves. So if it's a word that the kid hasn't heard before, it would become a new vocabulary word for them. And then even if it is a word that they've heard before, you're just reinforcing that word. You can also talk about descriptive words when you're cooking. You can ask, like, what does the food, whatever it is that you may be making, does it taste salty? Does it taste sweet? Is it spicy? You can incorporate some texture words. Is it sticky? Is it fluffy? Is it hard? All of those things are good descriptive words that you can use when making a recipe. And then another great skill you can work on is requesting, which is one that a lot of us, I know myself as parents, struggle with. When we anticipate what it is that our child wants or needs, we just go ahead and give that to them. And that's really something that we need to work on, allowing the child to make that request. So kind of have a little bit of a wait time and see if they need an egg for a recipe, or if they need a spoon, or if they need a spatula. Kind of give a little wait time when you're cooking to see if they will actually make that request, and then give it to them. Obviously, if they don't, you can go ahead and provide them with the item that you know they need, and you can use the language as you give it to them. Oh, you need a spatula to stir your brownie mix, so that maybe the next time when you guys make brownies, for instance, they will remember and use that skill themselves. And then quantitative concepts is another great skill that you can work on while cooking. You can use words like, give me a few chocolate chips, or give me a lot of coconut. So those are skills that can be worked on as well. And then the last one that I want to talk about today is answering questions. That is also something that you can target while cooking with children. You can ask questions, very simple questions. Where do we find the milk? Or how much sugar do we need for our recipe? Or how long should we bake these brownies? Those types of things. So today we are actually going to make some brownies and walk through step by step And then maybe you guys can work with your kiddos at home and make some brownies there, or any other recipe that you think that they would enjoy making. So I already have my supplies out. So we need a bowl, and then I have our brownie mix. We'll open that up, and here is where, like, you could have your child get the brownie mix out of the box. And then snip the corner. There's a good vocabulary word, snip. So you're gonna do that. The child could help pour the mix into the bowl. If they're really young, obviously you would want to help guide that. So you could say, you know, we are shaking this into the bowl, or dump it into the bowl. Again, any words that you are using during a cooking activity is going to be great for use of vocabulary. Obviously, I should have snipped a little bit bigger hole. Okay, so there's that. And the great thing about cooking and language is you can also, most recipes, well, all recipes, have like directions that can be followed either on the box, or you have it in a recipe book or something like that. So if your child is old enough to read, you can have them read it to you and let you know what you need next, or you can just kind of be there on the sidelines, just kind of as a guide for them. So it says here that we need to turn the oven on to 350 degrees. I've already done that. And then we need 1/4 cup of water, which I have already pre-measured, and pour that in. Again, this is something that you could allow your child to do, is pour in the ingredients. Ingredients, that's another word that would be really a good vocabulary word for kiddos when they're helping cook. We need 2/3 cup oil. So we pour that in and measure that. And then you can also incorporate some math skills into cooking as well. Like, how much did we need? We needed 2/3 of a cup, or we needed 1/4 of a cup, those types of things. So pour that in. And then we need 2 eggs. Kids love to crack eggs. I know this from experience of my own too. It can be messy, and it will be messy, but it is also incorporating fine motor skills as well as language. So as you can see, as you are using cooking and allowing your children to help, there are so many different things that you can work on. So we will crack our egg and then put 1 in. We needed 2, remember? So there's 1. And then here's the second one. So we'll do that one. And we do need a spoon, which I do not have. So let me grab a spoon. Okay, so we have our spoon. Then it says on our instructions here on the back of our box, we are going to stir our brownie mix, boil water, eggs in a bowl until blended, about 50 strokes. Again, you can work on counting skills. Have your child, as they are mixing up the brownies, they can work on counting. So we'll do that. I'm going to guesstimate about 50, by the way. So get that mixed up. Your kiddos will be more than happy to help with this. Once you have it all mixed up, again, you can use the word, a vocabulary word. You could use blend, you could use mix, you could use whisk. Those are all good words that you could use for stirring that. And then the last thing we're going to do is we are going to pour our brownie mix into a pan. As I said, little ones love to help. Allow them to do so. It is going to be messy. There will be spills. But that's also a great way to work on working through a problem or not getting upset when something doesn't go our way. So if they were to make a mess, try to calmly just talk through it and be like, uh-oh, you know, things happen. We all make messes, and not make it into a big deal, so they can work on those social skills of self-calming themselves down when something goes wrong. So now we have that. And so we'll spread, there's another good vocabulary word. We will spread our brownie mixture out into the pan. And then we will be ready to put our brownies in the oven and cook them. And another great thing about cooking and incorporating language into that is at the end of it all, you generally have a tasty treat that everybody can enjoy. So I'm going to stick this in the oven now. And in about 30 minutes, we will have, oh, I guess let's just set the timer. So set your timer. Again, that you can work on math skills, talk about time, all those things. And in about 30 minutes, we will pull our brownies out of the oven, wait for them to cool, and we will have a tasty snack. I hope you guys have enjoyed this and can see how you can use simple everyday things to build on your child's language skills.